So we're definitely trying again. Same rune tree, so I'm just gonna make a cut because I stopped recording in a rage. I hit the hotkey to stop recording, and I was like, ugh. So, yeah, and then I hit try again. I was like, okay, I'll just do another one, just for the sake of making a video. So, otherwise, I mean, I'd probably just walk around, rest my voice, but that's not happening. So, my goodness, obviously I can't take Frost Mage. Power Mage will follow the advice of certain players and not take Fire Mage early. That said, maybe I should have taken it actually, but it's too late now. Because we're playing Diamond, Soothing Warmth for obvious reasons has more worth. And I don't say obvious as in dummy, you should know. You know what? Quick Hands is good too. Yeah, we're actually going to take Quick Hands. If I see Pyro Mage again, and I don't see any summons, I guess I'm taking Pyro Mage, and we're going to try to build in Soothing Warmth. Again, there's a lot of RNG involved in this game, as well as any other top-down roguelike, but in this game in particular. Also, something I'd like to note from the perspective of a developer, or from something I found out and fuels my developer mind. Yeah, we might be able to do regeneration at least to start healing HP, but that's a question I had to ask, but I'll save that for later if I remember. But yeah, on the developer, you know, to fuel my developer brain, apparently this game was made using a lot of default assets. But I mean, no one cares when you know, I've talked about it before, how I usually care about gameplay. But I do note that presentation is a very important part as well, or it can actually carry a game. Just ask any game that is of genre 2, but, you know, it does, the game is using apparently a lot of default assets from what I hear, so, and I know that because I played another top-down roguelike that is of the similar vein. I'm not going to name drop it because this is a, yeah, I'm not going to name drop it, but that game also uses, definitely the same, a certain same asset as Minutes Till Dawn. So that's how I know, or that's why I am more willing to believe. I'm like, oh yeah. Again, not to say that, oh, the developers... I openly, wholeheartedly support people who just use default assets, because it's not just about presentation. If you have an interesting mechanic, or gameplay loop, or something that makes it fun, if your story is good, if the characters you make are good, then I don't really care that you're using, you know, default plugins that come with the engine you're using, or you know, I don't care that you're using, you know, stock characters if the story you're telling is interesting. I would rather you use those and I would rather people use those and make more games, even though if you want to argue that right now we just have a lot of games that should be going into the dumpster, but I'd rather people do that than not make a game at all. So, you know, that's my own 2 cents. Obviously, both have their reason. Yeah, well, we'll take light bullets. I would take rubber bullets, but there is a downside, quote-unquote, to rubber bullets, so yeah, we're not taking it. And I know I'm using shotgun, lol shotgun, easy mode, but I'm not quoting anyone by saying that. That's me paraphrasing and summarizing people saying shotgun is one of the best weapons, if not the best, and I'm not really going to argue with that, so yeah. If you've seen my other video, so... Yeah, I will not deny that shotgun is also a clutch weapon. So, both banned perks, by the way. And if such a thing were to happen on a later ban level, or a higher ban level is what I'm going to call it, then, yeah, I'll prioritize based on what has a higher priority ban. I think in order I would ban freeze as highest priority. So by that I mean, if freeze and double shot were the only perks I could take, and I've quote-unquote banned those for one run, then I would be forced to take double shot, and I could not, or in other words, I would not be able to take Frost Mage, is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. So let's see what we get here. Bulk up. Oh yeah, that's right, I died. So I was like, don't I have Berserk? No. I died so fast that I forgot that I don't have Berserk right now. In fact, I should know, because when you kill that boss, that's the first possible character perk you can get. But, hey. So as I continue going through this run, you know, I'm kind of autopiloting. I really shouldn't. I should be maximizing my experience growth. That way I can get summons as soon as possible. But Dragon still would not be kind of late, but at this point, you know, I'm doing what I can because I'm working with summon builds, and to prove that, I can go show you my runes after this run if I succeed. No, I will show you it anyway before I end the video. So it's pretty bad. I might be a bit tired. I have a lot of work to do, so I have a lot of things to do after this recording. So but hopefully, I mean, it would definitely raise morale if I could complete this challenge that I've set out for myself, but, you know. If I were to say blank platform integration, if the dev wanted to go that way for whatever reason, it would, a lot of the time, especially for roguelikes, again, for obvious reasons, but for those who don't know, adding some kind of integration that allows you to randomize, you know, what happens during a run, or at least allow you to ban things or force the player to choose certain things. No Dragon Egg, rip, but I think I've also seen Dagger. I think I've been skipping Dagger, so someone probably would have been yelling at me by now, but I'm pretty sure I skipped Dagger, Dragon. I don't think I'd ever skip Dragon, or I don't... It'd be a very low chance of me skipping Dragon if I took a summon build, but I'm pretty sure I've skipped Dagger more than a few times, and I've been using summon perks, so... Anyway, let's focus a bit more on Shub here. Wow, he really hit me. It really hit me. She really hit me. Run. Focus on run. Wow, I tried to run and die and got hit still. I feels really bad, man. Although, theoretically, you should always be... No, actually, because... Oh my goodness, because you don't have mouse movement, it's harder to dodge perpendicular, which is, I think, the best way to try and dodge Shub, but... aside from that... let's take Sniper. What I should be doing is dodging like this, so because if I dodge or try to make Shub run in a cardinal direction, that way I can. It's easier for me to dodge perpendicular. That said, if he just hits me, I'm too thinking about Shub's gender identity literally killed me. I lost focus there. Let me show you my runes, but. I mean, it's a Lovecraftian monster. I'm sure I could just say it, they. But thinking about Shub's gender identity just got me killed. Also, I just noticed that my blessing is only on rank 2, so that, you know, that might hurt a little bit, but we're still going to try the challenge regardless. At this point, though, yeah, we'll keep going. I had a minute to think to myself as I rage quit again. Oh, my words. Not enough time to stop myself. Well, actually, I walked outside to do something. I swear it's not to, you know, because at the time of this recording is right after the Shub gender crisis. But hey, Dragon Egg, level 1, and then there's Dagger as well. I gotta remember that Dagger is also a summon. Goodness gracious, this is full of anarchy, but. A lot of my deaths, I will say, have been. I feel pretty confident in tributing it to my own movement as I finally take light weaponry. I should even just look at the tree because I have never. Again, I've only dabbled in summons like a few times max, if I can think about it. Which means I definitely don't know the effects of the full tree. If you said, hey. What is the effect of at least 4 perks in the summons tree, then I would not be able to tell you. So, aside from the obvious ones like, hey, summon a ghost, summon a dagger. How much damage does it do? Even how much damage does it do, I don't even know. Also, I just lost the shield there because I was actually thinking about what the effects did. Okay, let me just let me try to concentrate more than not at all. And hopefully we'll survive. Oh goodness, I just walked through 8 damage. And I usually survive till Shub anyway, so I should be okay. Or the dragon should be able to, well, no, that's not true, because Shub is, okay. Well, it depends. It'll depend. Because I have all these summons, but I don't have any immediate increase to my DPS, aside from getting summons, getting summons immediately. But definitely these dragon perks are not doing me as much as they could be doing. So, yes, the shotgun allows me to usually kill a lot of things in one clip, especially once cadence procs, but it could be a lot better, and it would be a lot better if I had Double Shot or Frost Mage, but obviously those are banned. So, and if I had Ethereal, I would not be dealing with any of these at all. But it's so bonus is increased by summon damage. So technically, Magic Lens is a summon too. So you know what? A full summon build, right? Question mark? We'll find out in short order. But to repeat, I would like to reiterate and repeat. I'm sure someone can get it one build like this to work. In my hands, though, it's gonna take some time. If it is a lot easier to do than thought. That said, hey, we're going all the way. We're dabbling in each perk, which admittedly doesn't increase my damage too much compared to, well, I don't know. Jury's out on that one, isn't it? Unless someone can tell me immediately if it's more deep. Well, I mean, I guess it really depends on the perk as well. Obviously, Frost Mage and Double Shot probably are. It's probably better to, if you. The assumption is if you get all 4 in a row. So if you get Double Tree perks on all 4 levels back to back, or if you get Frost Mage's perks all 4 of its perk trees. All 4 of its perks in the tree back to back, you know, you know what I mean. Is it better than dabbling in one of a lot of good perk trees, I guess? And that, yes, that would depend on how good the first perk of each tree is. But basically, is it better if you had the chance and you were confident in it? Why wasn't I firing? To get 4 perks in a row in a tree and clear out the tree for most trees anyway, or is it better to dabble in a lot of good perks, like say get Frost Mage, get 2 Frost Mage, get 2 Double Shot. I know I keep using those perks, but I mean they're pretty prevalent, or they're pretty important compared to if I was running a summon build like I just did, getting one of each summon and then working with that. Granted, if you have them all together, they do quite a bit of AoE. Not in terms of damage, but they're at least hitting a lot of things. So, as for their damage, I mean, again, I'd have to see. At least from personal experience, because I don't have a lot of personal experience. I just have to trust the hearsay of those who have been working with summon builds, which they said it's been pretty okay. But obviously, a lot of things in this game are supplemented. Unless you're doing a more normal run where, well, normal run. So anywhere from Darkness 0, I'm still unlocking characters, to Darkness 15, just grinding things out. You'd probably hit like level 30 to 40 minimum. So is that enough to get every summon in the summon tree reliably? Or at least definitely enough to get a majority if you have average luck, I'm guessing. But again, I wouldn't know for sure. Only those who primarily, or main summon builds as I call it, would be able to tell me reliably. So when I say main, my definition of main is that you primarily play a certain thing. So I play a lot of Shotgun Diamond. I decided to choose Shotgun Diamond immediately. You know what? No, Electromage. I was thinking of Soothing Warp, and I'm like, but what about my immediate damage, though? Although I would be able to burn Shub a lot. So maybe that, well, I mean, compared to other perks that you could take, Double Shot and Frost Mage, taking burns is objectively worse, but I mean, if I'm stacking burns, and depending on how high you can stack them, I mean, I can only assume that you get a lot of you get more damage out of taking other perks over building it into burn early. In most cases, again, when I talk about how good a perk is, I'm usually trying to think of its consistency. I know I meme a lot on my RNG, but that's what I usually am thinking about. Because, well, you're going to be playing a run a lot. Wow, Shub died really quickly that time. So let's see what I want. Didn't get Tome of Summon, unfortunately. So what do I actually want? I'm gonna be tagging things, but I'm not gonna be doing damage. Oh, this sucks. So I'm going to take elasticity. My reasoning for it, if I were to defend myself, is that I'm going to be shooting into a large group of ads, or mobs, or monsters. And the hope is that, you know, since the bullet's going to stop anyway, I want it to be bouncing around in the middle of those mobs, even though I'm using shotgun, which has enough, which the bullets of the shotgun do not have a large overall range, as you can see. So, but if they do bounce because bullets, the shotgun, while it seems to have some penetration, it doesn't have full penetration like, I don't know if any gun has good penetration base. Some of them obviously have like 1 or 2 base, but the point is that when enemies are clumped up together, it doesn't matter how, the range matters less since I'm going to be shooting into a mob that's probably near me, and they're clumped close enough where the bullets won't die out and they'll be able to bounce around, is the hope. So Electrobug also counts as a summon, right? So, and yeah, and that's bouncing is ultimately at least 10-20%, and then obviously more depending on how much it bounces around. But if it only has 1 bounce, then not as much. But obviously if you have more bounces, the more it bounces around. I don't remember what the bullet bounce drop or the bullet damage is when it bounces, but also I shouldn't be running away. I need to be running toward the experience that's dropping like this. And preferably if I like AFK strats or trying to optimize experience in general, I should be standing more still. But if I stand still, the assumption is that I would be able to clear things around me fast enough to not get swarmed, which I don't believe in. So that's why I'm kind of moving in a circle, or trying to move in a circle. I should be doing. So yeah, let's hope this works out well. Preferably, I like to be at least level 20 before 10 minutes till dawn, minimum. If that's not the case, then maybe I'm going crazy. But I look at the average case, I look at consistency, because what I was going to say about that was that most players, you know, you can't always use a me argument in that, well, I always get summon, or I always manage to build summon, because when you introduce RNG, there's always going to be a subset, however small it may be, of players that don't run into it. As I mentioned when I was doing Revolver Sean a lot, I got triple a good amount of times as one of my first Shauna perks, but when I always prepared a Stalwart Shield, I never got it. So it will happen to someone. So, and yeah, you can argue, well, that's not consistent because those people are just unlucky, but that's why, you know, I try to look at things in consistency, just in case, you know, is there anything we can do if there's not? What is a consistent strategy that even, you know, unlucky people can use? Because lucky people obviously don't need it, they're lucky. So, for looking at consistency, you know, something like saying, oh, just use Shotgun Abby, or Shotgun Spark, or Shotgun Scarlet. Those things make more sense because you're always gonna, you have the ability to choose. There's no RNG in picking your character until the dev adds something like that. But, you know, yeah, we're gonna take Focal Point. Because, it's a summon, so, hey. Which, if you can see, I see something doing like 600 damage. So, yeah, summon's pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know what it is, actually, that's causing that, so someone let me know who runs summons, or who knows the answer. Again, you don't have to main a summon, because in games like, well, in a lot of games where you can main something, usually when we're talking about fighting games, sometimes we're talking about shooters, and in this day and age, let me check to make sure. We'll take that energized, I guess, but yeah, it's, in most games where you can main something, there are also people who can, you know, are just good at the game. But in that case, I mean, they can still be a main at something, but the point is that if you want to get better at the game in general, which is usually better, well, it depends, actually. It helps to play everything. So you can still main something, again, for those who are familiar with fighters, and it's easier for me to think of fighters, you know, if you know your enemy, because in fighters that's how that matters, then you can be better at your main. So at the same time, in games where it's, you know, single player, you know, not PvP or multiplayer based, knowing your main, it's for balance sake, learning other characters and stuff can help you out. But if you're maining a character, however, then in this game in particular, playing around with weapons, you know, helps you out in terms of if you want to keep playing your character. If you like a weapon instead and don't main a character, if you love weapons more than the characters you see in this game, then, I mean, no shame there, but that means you might be exploring characters you can use with your favorite gun. So, you know, and then exploring other things. If you're just interested in the game in general, then you'll eventually play everyone. There's a reason why people Red 15 everything in this game, but, you know, or even if you don't know, then, yeah, it's, you know, it's a point of pride to look at the character screen and see all 15s. I'm still working through it. I could grind it out, but I want to make videos on it because it's fun, so. Meanwhile, yeah, so I finally made it past 10 minutes till dawn. I don't know if I've done that on ban level 3 yet, but we're going to find out how far we can get. Reload rate, move speed, or more. Yeah, let's take the more stable option. My reason for that is that I'm diamond, so I might want to get hit on purpose. I definitely want to get grind all my getting hit before minute 5, and if I want to still grind after that, then I want to get hit by projectiles. In case you didn't know, in case this is one of your first videos watching me, the reason for that is because, and those who know, but for those who don't, projectiles will always do 1 HP until the dev adds in a darkness level or some way that the mobs can do 2 HP on a projectile. Because after 5 minutes on my current darkness level, I'm going to be taking 2 damage from everything, and damage's perks only proc when she gets hit. It doesn't care how much damage she takes. I don't think Tree gives anything, and if it does, then it's a bug, and I'm not going to exploit that. Again, for the sake of videos and my own integrity, especially if I'm doing challenges of some sort, I will usually not try to exploit the game, so if it's a bug, then I won't use it. That said, I didn't get to talk about it in one of my previous videos. I think I died before I did. So, but I could talk about, you know, triple assassin. So the dev could purposely leave that in. People, I think it's reasonable to call it a bug, and I think everyone would consider it one. But triple assassin, which is a specific term to refer to Shauna, when she gets her triple perk, if you pick up assassin, then you think that you can kill enemies under 60 HP. Apparently what it does is kill things 3 times over, but that also drops 3 times the experience, unless that was a meme too, and the joke was lost on me. But that's apparently being called a bug, and the dev could choose to just leave it that way. But if the dev wants to fix it, then it is what it is. And if that's the case, I mean, in my opinion, for myself anyway, for anyone else who wants to run high kill counts and stuff, because that's the premium way to do it right now. Do I have Berserk, by the way? No. RIP. So there's no reason to get hit anyway. But yeah, if it's a bug, then I still wouldn't use it because it's a bug, and if it's not a bug, I wouldn't use it just in case, because I don't know whether or not it's going to be, if it's going to be fixed or not. And even then, yeah, those are the 2 main cases. I'm kind of concentrating right now because, yeah, so maybe I don't need to, but I don't. Let me just see. Can I stand? No, because there are projectiles flying around, Jordan. You can't stand still because you're not going to be invincible at any moment, so you're going to get hit by projectiles that track your character on screen. Gosh dang. I can move in small circles, so I can at least do that. You make use of all my Toho experience, however little it is. I've never beat a lunatic run, but primarily I played the embodiment of Darlit Skevel, but hey, that's my experience with Tofo, along with dabbling in a bunch of other perks. But, you know, now that those are officially out to some capacity, I'd want to purchase them before I play them. Because I think they were... Yeah, Scarlet Devil is the one I played. I obviously, back in the day, I didn't know as much Japanese as I did now, even though I was still studying Japanese back then. But hey. So, No Frost, Kill Clip, or Fresh Clip? Which is actually better? Maybe Kill Clip, or maybe bullet damage. Reload rate is there's still reload. I'll take Fresh Clip. The Fresh Clip of Dawn Air, but yeah, we should be okay. Hopefully my summons carry me. Summons are still technically RNG unless they track to some point, but again, at that point they're still RNG, because even if they only somewhat track, there's a chance they missed the ads that you want them to kill. So let's hope that they work out for me. I will trust in people who, say that summon builds are good. And maybe this is how I win the ban level. But after this, obviously at some point I'm going to be banning summons. Or maybe certain summons. Or maybe summons in general. But we'll find out. So if I survive, I survive. If I don't, I don't. So my throat. I've been speaking for a long time because I've also been talking to the animals that are living around me, or living with me. So I sometimes, you know what? The funniest thing I've noticed about myself in terms of animals or pets is that I have a really common phrase for when I'm when I'm unhappy with animals and I want to want to train them and stuff, and that is I always threaten to like eat them. I never really do that, or like I'm gonna bite your fur. I'm gonna bite your face, cat or squirrel or something. And maybe my neighbors hear that and they're like, oh, "What is this person talking about?" But I don't know. That's something I noticed about myself. I don't know why that's the specific phrasing I use, but it's something I use. So I'm like, so it's like, hey, you better back away from that before I eat you, animal name. So it's yeah. Okay, so let me concentrate because Shagat These is coming. That's not its name. Its full name is actually just Shagat, but I don't know why. It's not. I'm not shortening the name in any way. So also, I should probably pick up this experience. I could be like level 33 by now. That's a guess, but gun mastery. Why not? I could optimally. At this point, you're taking more utility perks, or from what I've seen people do, probably a few already, but definitely at this moment, you've already probably had your build set up. So, yeah. And in that case, you'd probably be building towards regeneration, building towards, the last of your build that you want. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get... Buddy, that boss melted. Hey, there's a clip I always wanted to make. I'll take power here. And that clip is something along the lines of if your weapon shoots in such a way where its bullets encompass the boss, let's take Now's My Chance. Then yeah, I want to do a thing where it's like, hey, you want to see a magic trick, and then you cover the boss, and then like after you stop shooting, all that's left is like a treasure chest. That's just something I wanted to meme about, but I don't really often get the chance because the setup for that, it depends on your character. But for Diamond, I haven't had the pleasure. And on recording, I think I've done it like once, but it looks really funny when you do it, though. But yeah, moving on. So I guess we'll take Reaper rounds. We'll take Reaper rounds, even though yes, my range is not far. The benefits from the perk as a whole is still going to be very prevalent, especially when I shoot things through the magic lens. But yeah. So theoretically, I should survive no matter what. That is objectively the hardest wave because of what it's involved. But at the same time, situationally, if you're not prepared to deal with the swarm of enemies, then maybe I can do it. Hey, I have to wait for the lens to come back. It's coming back soon, hopefully. Oh my goodness! Unless I just die here, please, summons, carry me. Okay, I think it just died, so I can pick up Berserk now. However, I might just die here. If one of these nice, look at these cute little monsters comes up to me and spanks me. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's take Divine Blessing. So unfortunately, for better or worse, Divine Blessing or the Shield rune perk could have saved me here if I end up dying, as my frame rate proceeds to drop. But hey, to the people who are saying you should survive no matter what, when your build isn't, yes, you're right, okay, or your build should be complete, and you should be able to cleave everything on screen, or AoE everything on screen. That said, there may be people who die, 3 minutes till dawn, and it will happen. So hopefully, let's hope that doesn't happen. I don't want to be stuck at this band level. I want to make progress in my own challenges, so let's hope that I don't die. I have my shield back, so that's at least 2 hits as I proceed to lose my shield immediately. I'll get it back in about 50 seconds. But until then, let's hope we don't die. Oh goodness gracious. I think I have a sacrifice summoning, or summon sacrificing, right? So every time I get hit, I lose a summon instead. Question mark? I'll check my runes after. But let's hope we survive. So 3 minutes till dawn, and let's hope. All this experience lying around, I'm definitely not going to be able to max out optimize my level here. Yeah, let's build to vitality. The only reason I'm not building into aim, which I probably should have actually built into, is because it reduces my spread, and right now I want the spread more than... I mean, I probably might have been a bad decision, but it's worked out for me a lot of the time, so hopefully this vitality build into vitality works out. That said, anger point will help as well, because I at least can take 1 extra point. If getting hit with the shield also counts, well, hopefully that'll work, because technically that's getting hit as well. But I've never asked the question in the community. I could probably get an answer. I could probably even look up the answer, but we'll see. Yeah, so with full rank on the shield rune perk, I would be regenerating my shield in 35 seconds. Is that correct? Let's take aim and see how... hopefully this becomes better. If it becomes worse, I will be really sad. But yeah, I should be doing a bunch of damage. I see hundreds of damage going out. I see 777. So that said, oh, these projectiles, please. I gotta actually hold down the fire button. Otherwise, because I will be able to clear out ads if I hold it. I probably should even be spinning to win. Nope, never mind. No spin to win. Cut a way through. You know what? Run and gun would actually be quite helpful right now. But if I don't get the chance, I don't get the chance. Please! Let's actually take penetration. And let's hope, please, don't die. Because bounce, if I just had bounce and less penetration, that would clear a lot more ads around me. So that's why I'm thinking about whether or not I want pierce to penetration. Some people might think that's unfair, but I mean, if you have the choice, usually you have the choice, so it's up to you to decide based on your current build what you want to take. And there have been people, you know, arguing both ways. And they both have their reasons, but in this particular case, probably should have taken bounce, but let's hope I don't die. I almost ran into a projectile and died. 1 minute left, please! I have a shield! Don't lose the shield, me! I wanna be safe. I can also run a bit. Additional 10 damage is nothing. Do I go confident, or do I take at least one more hit? I'll take one more hit. Move speed decreased, but I'm clearing anything in front of my lens for a fact. And yeah, I could just choose to run. I need to follow this. Oh my goodness, I ran into the projectile. I could follow my focal lens, but I do need to spin to win every now and then just to make sure that everything around me is going to die. Unfortunately, trees don't collide with any enemies, so I don't get to use the tree as cover. Ah! Summons, save me! At this point, okay, yes, you can call this clutched by some, or you can call this crutch, summon crutch, because I am definitely relying on a lot of summons. If nothing else, this, for me, provides definite proof that I can rely on summons to carry me if I don't, for some reason, get double shot freeze. So, hey, there we go. And I guess I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. If you want to support me, you know what to do.